going to discuss for the next 40 minutes is how we are going to create accessible games using Flex. I have not created any presentation PowerPoint for this because whenever we create it, I tend to look at the slide and just walk away with it. So what we are going to do is we are going to have a very interactive session. I'll give you hands-on and we'll actually open Flex Builder and see how we make it accessible. So when we talk about Flex, accessible gaming in Flex, how we are going to proceed is first we'll check how to make Flex accessible, and then we can look at the gaming aspect of it. Okay, so let's get started. I'll not talk around why Flex is needed and why we need to make Flex accessible, why gaming is needed in Flex. So considering everything is taken care of, we'll directly go into Flex and accessibility. So very first thing, whenever we want to make any Flex application accessible, it is not accessible by default. So whenever we create any Flex project and publish it, it will not create an accessible SWF file. So what we need to do is we need to enable accessibility which is inbuilt in Flex using some procedure. I'll show you what we need to do exactly. If you have any questions in between, you can stop me. So how many technical people are here who understand a little bit of syntax? Can you please raise your hands? Okay, thank you. I'm starting my Flex Builder. Once I explain you all the accessibility features of Flex and do some practicals, then we are going to play an accessible game which we have created using Flex. I had to restart my machine because I'm using a demo version of JAWS. It asked me to restart my machine after 40 minutes. Actually, I need to, but so much used, got acquainted with JAWS. Can't leave it. But yeah. So what you can expect out of this particular session is, if you know little technical things, then you can definitely make your Flex applications accessible, or games which are built in Flex accessible. Or at least if you don't know technical, then you can go back to your organizations and definitely you can consult your designers and developers and you can guide them how they can make their Flex applications accessible. Okay, so what we are going to do now is how to do the setting wherein we can make our Flex applications accessible. So we need to do certain settings at the beginning. So I'm going to create a new project in Flex. I'm naming it try. Okay, now my project has been loaded. The initial setting which I need to do is I need to click the project menu on the menu bar. Inside that we have certain sub-menus. The last one is properties. We need to click project and then move to properties. You'll find a tree there. Go to Flex compiler. And on the right hand side we'll see various options. There is one checkbox which says generate accessible SWF file. We need to check this particular option for the resulting SWF file to be accessible. If we don't check this option, when a screen reader will identify a flash movie, it will say flash movie start and flash movie end. It will not identify any content which is within the flash movie. So this is the basic step, the first step which we need to take care of while making Flex accessible. I've noted some points how I need to take the flow of this. So after enabling accessibility, okay, we'll run a demo. I'm starting JAWS.
JAWS for Windows is ready. Demo mode active. Use update authorization in the help menu to activate. Min-debug. Folder view list view. Not selected.
Can we increase the volume?
11. To move to items, use the arrow keys. Jigsaw.html. Windows Explorer connecting ...
Thank you.
Brain teaser dash inaccessible flex.
Okay. Those who know JAWS, I am going to press Control Home to reach top of the page.
Brain teaser dash inaccessible flex based game.
I'm pressing down arrow key. We'll just listen what all JAWS says on this particular screen.
Flash movie start. Brain teasers. Play this exciting jigsaw game by answering questions and placing the pieces in the right position. The game comprises of multiple jigsaw puzzles each. Puzzle is made of 9 pieces. The game contains multiple levels. With each level the complexity of the puzzle increases. We have designed and developed this game to provide gaming experience for assistive technology users also. Read the instructions before you start the game. Enter your name : name. Blank. Name edit. Type in text. Instructions. Understand how to play the game button. Start the game button. Exit the game button. Flash movie end.
Okay. So can you all tell me what all you heard? I mean, not all the elements, but can you tell me the flow? What JAWS read? Yeah. Okay. So very first thing which JAWS read is flash movie starts. So whenever it encounters a flash movie, it announces that flash movie is starting. From then it read some content on the screen. Then it came to a input field. After that, 3 buttons, and then it said flash movie end. So that is how screen reader reacts with flash content, basically a SWF file on the web. Okay, now how screen reader picked up all this information, for example this text, buttons, input field which we have created in Flex. So basically there is something called as MSA, which is Microsoft Active Accessibility, which is little difficult topic, so I'll try to make it simple for you. It's kind of an technology or API you can say, which is an intermediate between the assistive technology and the application which we have created. So suppose in Flex I have created a button and given it name, for example instructions. How this information is passed to the screen reader? It is using MSA. So whenever a screen reader requires some information from the application, it will request MSA or it will take it from MSA. So that MSA has to be updated all the time. We'll see later on how we can do that. So basically the functionality of MSA is the intermediate between our application and the screen reader technology. Okay, there are few important things which we need to pass to MSA, which are role, name, value and state. Anybody knows what role, value, name and state are? Yes, Vasu? For example? Button, okay. Okay, so when we say a radio button, the role of that particular component is, it is a radio button. User should know that. And when we talk about name, what name we have given to that particular control in order to, for the assistive technology users to get it. So that is the name of that particular thing. It also has a label associated with it. That could be the value of that particular component. And the lastly, which is there, is state. Radio button could be checked or unchecked, selected, not selected. So that is a state. So these four things we need to pass to the screen reader in order to so that the assistive technology users can get the information. Okay, so we'll see how it happens actually.
Escape. F11. Alt F4. Min-debug.
I've opened the Flex project which I had created. I'm going to create 2-3 small controls. I'm going to drag them from the components panel on the stage.
Tree view custom mode.
I've taken a checkbox.
Level 1. Checkbox 3 of 34. Tree view checkbox.
We'll take label.
Label.
And we'll take
Tree
one.
view label 13 of 34 to move through or
We'll take a radio button.
radio but
I'm going to save this and
Control
publish
S
the project.
toolbar to 80%. Windows Internet Explorer C:\\document.
Initially, we had done the setting for this, that make the resulting SWF file accessible. So screen reader should read whatever is on the screen right now.
Checkbox checkbox.
I'm pressing Control Home to go top of the page.
Flash movie start. Checkbox not checked checkbox.
So the first checkbox was the role, that it is a checkbox. The next checkbox which it read is actually the value of that checkbox, because I have not changed the label of that particular checkbox.
Label.
It's a text field which I had added.
Radio button not checked. Radio 1 of 1.
Again, same thing. First radio button was the role for that particular component, then it announced the name, and then the state, that it is not selected. So this is how it the screen reader reads the content which are on the page.
Flash that.
Okay, like this, Flex have given us 32 inbuilt components. So Adobe has taken care of making these components completely accessible for assistive technologies. So normally what happens for design purpose, we tend to create our own components. For example, a radio button with little visual, which is visually appealing for the users. But what happens is when a developer or designer create this kind of a component, they forget about these four things: role, state, property, and role, state, name, and value. What happens is they take some kind of an image from the library and they give functionality of a radio button. But what happens is the information is not passed to the MSAA. And to do that, they need to do a lot of programming at the operating system level so that all this information is passed to the screen reader users. So in order to avoid this, we need to maximize the use of the components which are provided by the vendor itself, because they have been tested for accessibility. So likewise, we have 32 accessible components provided in Flex. Okay, let's move on to how to make the Flex applications accessible, which is all we are here for.
Blank.
So very first thing is we need to control the reading order on the screen. And how we can do is using the tab order, which is a default property provided in Flex.
Tree view radio.
I'm taking 4 text fields on the stage.
Label. Tree view label 13.
Okay, I've taken 4
Tree view
labels on the
label
screen.
13.
We'll change the text of it.
Label text : edit label type in
For the first label, which is on top of the screen, I'm writing, this is label 1.
TASSABSOWD period.
For the second one, similarly, I'll write 2.
Label text TASISABS2, period, enter. This is label. Copied selection to clipboard. Label text pasted from P2, 3, period. Text colon pasted from P2, 3, period. P3, 4, period, enter.
So currently there are 4 text fields on the screen. I've saved it. Let's publish it and see, because we have not provided tab index, how screen reader reacts to it.
Save
how it
and
reads
launch
it.
dialog. Windows Internet Explorer, C:\document
Pressing Control Home.
Flash movie start. This is label 1. This is label 2. This is label 3. This is label 4.
So it is following top to down, left to right hierarchy, which is by default. Now in case if you want to change the tab order, what we can do is, I'm going to reverse. For the 4th label, I'm providing tab index as 1. So I've selected label 4, going to the properties, going to the tab index property of it.